welcome to the channel. Today we will be learning all about AWS Redshift. What is AWS Redshift? Let's learn about that. So it's a data warehouse product from Amazon, which is available on the AWS platform, and this forms part of the larger cloud computing platform that AWS has. So let's learn today about AWS Redshift. So the first thing you need to do is you need to set up a Amazon Redshift cluster. Now, what do we do to get that going? So first you log into your AWS Management Console. You click on the Amazon Redshift service. Click on Launch Cluster button. Provide the required details such as your cluster name, your node type, number of nodes, database name. So this kind of sets up kind of like a capacity for your cluster. So you're kind of setting the ground rules up. So you should have some sort of a calculations done on what kind of, uh, volume data do you expect, or anticipate. So, and this can change, of course, so not a problem, but some basic details you'll have to provide here. Appropriate VPC and security group. Set the master username and password for your cluster. Review the settings. So go back and all the details that you have provided. Just make sure that they're all correct. And there you go. Click on Launch Cluster button. So these steps, A to G, will be your key to launching the Redshift cluster. And this is like the most important step that you do. Now you wait for your cluster to become available, and boom, once it's there, it's ready for you, waiting for you to be used. Now you can get to the next step, which is creating tables in Amazon Redshift. Now, this was so easy, right? Like when you had your on-prem, you had to order hardware, you had to set up the server, apply patches, software, blah, 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 before you could have a database available. But here it's so simple. So good luck to all of you who are using AWS Redshift. So creating tables. So now that you have created your cluster and you have your master user credentials, which we set up in the previous slide, you log into that cluster using that same master user credentials. You create a new database. So create database, whatever you want to call it, my database, it's just this example. Then you switch to the newly created database using the following command: \c and then the database name. Now, within that database, you will want to create your tables, right? So maybe table A, table B, table C, whatever you want to call it, right? So in this case, I'm creating table users. You're declaring variables, user ID, username, email, and that's it. So 3, that's it. And then you create a table. Now, so what have you learned so far? You have learned how to create a cluster, you have learned how to create a database, and you have learned how to create a table. So the 3 critical pillars of utilizing AWS Redshift we've already gone through. Now, inserting data. So once you have your infrastructure ready, you have your database ready, you have your tables ready, now you want to start utilizing it. For that, you need to start inserting data. So it's pretty simple. It's those same SQL commands: insert into table name users. In this case, you have your 3 fields: user ID, username, email, and the values. So values could be, in this case, I'm just giving you dummy values: John, record 1, Jane record 2, Jim record 3. Okay, so now you have inserted the data with these insert commands. Querying the data is the next step, right? So you query data from the table using the following command. Select from users, right? That's the table name. Now, because you would want to do some data selection, you can filter data with the where clause. So where username is Jane, and that's pretty much it. You have created a table, you have inserted data, you have learned how to query data. Now, sometimes you want to delete tables. So, which is as simple as using drop table command, and you can drop that table. Uh, Now, if you want to delete that entire database, right, for some reason you don't need it, or it was a test database or whatever, you can just delete the entire database. So it's as simple as drop database and then the database name. And for whatever reason you chose not to utilize AWS Redshift cluster, or at least that specific cluster, then this is a basic script. You can delete it. And at that point, you can choose not to use Redshift, or you can, practice some more. And there's more things you can do with Redshift, such as creating views, managing users, optimizing performance. There's, of course, the official Redshift documentation that you can get to for these learning about the advanced features and best practices. So with that, let's summarize. So we learned today that Amazon Redshift uses SQL pretty much to analyze structured, semi-structured data. Uh, and this is across data warehouses, operational databases, data lakes. Of course, all this is using the AWS designed hardware, machine learning, and this is all optimized to deliver the best price performance to you, and regardless of your scale. So with that, I would like to say again, good luck to you, and I hope you all have a great journey with AWS's Redshift. If you do like my video, do like and share, and I definitely want you to subscribe, so I need your support to grow. Thank you.